Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Live Reality Games podcast. I am your host for tonight, Gible. I am way too close to the camera, and I am the host of Survivor at IU. We are here to kick off Season 7 of Survivor Wisconsin, and I'm joined by a wonderful panel of guests. But of course, we could not do the Survivor Wisconsin draft without the host of Survivor Wisconsin, Devin. Devin, how are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk about a really good season we got for everybody tuning in. So, yeah, I can't wait to dive into it.
Absolutely. On the other end of it, we have someone who is rather new to the LRG community. They just played in the second season of Golden Gates, coming out later this year, I believe. And we have Logan. Logan, how you doing?
I am ecstatic. I've never done a draft like this or been on like a podcast, I guess, like this. So I'm pumped. This is exciting. This is new.
Fun stuff. And somewhere in the middle of those two, we have someone who has been in the community for, I think, about 2 years now. You may have seen them on Surviving Bloomington, and you can watch them now on Outlast. It is Matt. Matt, how you doing?
Pretty good. What's up, everyone? Excited to talk about Survivor Wisconsin. This is an LRG that I did not know about before this, so I'm excited to learn a little more and see what this cast has to give.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any better way to learn about Survivor Wisconsin than coming from someone who I'm sure represents the series as a whole. Devin, what can you tell us about your series? What makes you unique, and sort of how did you come about becoming a host?
Yeah, so about like March 2020, right before COVID, me and all my friends were in college, and we kind of did a game night every week. And one time, one of my friends did like a Survivor game, and it was just for fun, just like a 2-day thing, and it got really competitive. And then COVID happened, and me and some of my roommates got like a huge house for the summer and for the school year at our college, and I kind of just took it over. And when we were in college, we did like 10 seasons of Survivor Whitewater, I called it, which is on our YouTube channel as well. We did like 10 seasons in 22 months. It was all just friends of friends. I'm a huge Survivor super fan. A couple of my other friends are as well. So I hosted and played, but I always, if I wasn't playing or hosting, I usually was always involved in the planning of it. And I've pretty much edited all of our seasons that are on YouTube too. So it's come a long way from like the very first season we did. Like the footage was awful. The just was a huge learning curve, but it was a fun game. And then, we graduated from college. We left it off with our Legends season, which was awesome for like $600. Had like 19 people play, a whole 2-day thing. So that was really fun. And we're like, we're graduating, we're done. And then pretty shortly after, we're like, nah, we got to bring it back. So we like rebranded to Survivor Wisconsin since we all weren't in college really anymore. And then since July 2022, we've done now 7 seasons of Survivor Wisconsin. So yeah, it is pretty similar to the game. It's very fast paced. It's always in one day. We've done a couple 2-day seasons, but it's mainly one day. It's always recorded. So we do confessionals, pretty basics of Survivor. A lot of the challenges are more like backyard games, carnival games. There's obviously puzzles and stuff involved as well, but that's kind of the main part about it all. It stands out where it's just, I don't feel like there's a ton of Survivor things going on in Wisconsin. And honestly, before this season, it was always just friends of friends, people hearing about it that we knew of. So this 7th season that we're going to dive into talk about is the first time I really opened up like an open casting for it and everything, and reached out to Live Reality Games casting to really get a lot of people in the area and in the Midwest to play. So I'm really glad I did, because it was starting to dry out, because it was always really hard to convince people to play sometimes, because probably like over half the people that played definitely never watched the show, doesn't really know what Survivor is. So it was cool, like to a certain point, but now getting people that are diehards, like want to really like be invested in it, like are willing to travel to come play, is awesome, because past seasons, there's always probably 1 or 2 people that doesn't really want to be there. They usually make them because they kind of are labeled as like the goat of the season, and they just don't want to be there. And with this season, there definitely isn't one of those. So thanks, Ben, player on this season, and Maddie. So they're both going to be some very good characters, so watch out for them. But yeah, I mean, I love doing it. I've played, I've done decently well, and then other times, like everyone knows I run it, so I never get a fair shot. So I'm always like, I'm just going to go back to hosting. But yeah, I'm glad I opened the application up. I think we're going to do that probably going forward for another season or 2 before maybe do a returning season. So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like the little history of Survivor Wisconsin. Used to be Survivor Whitewater. So all those seasons are all on our YouTube idol identifiers. So yeah, that's kind of what we called it, just because that's just what we named it initially, and I stuck with it.
Very, very well spoken. I think it's a great story. It's a lot of really solid stuff, and I'm sure me and Matt are big fans of the college Survivor community. So I wasn't aware it came from that. I'm always happy to support games like that. But could you tell us a little bit about what was the reactions like when you sort of open it up? In terms of like how were people DMing you? How were people finding your YouTube channel, commenting how much they enjoyed it? What was sort of the feedback you were getting from that?
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of just opened it up, and I think Live Reality Games followed my account actually, like the casting thing. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just open it up to this. And there's kind of a community here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because Andrea Belke, who's played in the real show 3 times, she's kind of like opened up a community a bit where a lot of people are meeting each other. And I kind of just met people through there and kind of was like, hey, I do my own Survivor. You should check it out. They're kind of doing their own thing too. So I don't want to take away from them any either. I don't know if they're really filming it, but I was like, you know what? I need to target these people because these are diehards that would love to probably do something like this. So the reaction was great. I didn't get like a ton of applicants more than who played. But that's all right because I only wanted, 14 or 16 people playing just because it's in one day. So it's got to be fast paced. We can't take on like 18. It won't happen. It will be there till midnight. So the reaction was really good. And I've gotten a lot of, more followers on our Instagram and subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is awesome to see. And just to meet the cast video, which we'll watch, I mean, it's only like a 9-minute clip of all the, total of all the players. And we got like 4 and something views, which, is a lot considering what we usually get on ours. So I'm really happy about that. I mean, I don't do this for views. It's more just the enjoyment of it. I mean, if more viewership comes in, I'll be happy with that. But yeah, it's been a really good avenue to kind of branch out and then kind of, open up a brand new audience to our Survivor game. So
It's fantastic stuff. Always love to hear LRGs supporting different LRGs. So you talked a little bit about this cast. Could you tell us why this is called Season 7, Survivor Wisconsin? Why is it the new blood?
Yeah, so I mean, you'll see some of these players have played in other LRGs, which, is what it is to me. But to me, these players have never played our game, where it might be similar to ones they've played. They're new players to majority of our audience and our Instagram page and stuff. So it's just kind of like, let's get this new blood of cast in here to kind of open up the next, I guess, era, Survivor Wisconsin. I'm not calling it new era like the real show, but we'll see kind of where it takes us. And maybe this opens up a couple seasons in a row of new players as well. So yeah, that's kind of why it's called New Blood, just new faces to our game. And, if they played LRGs before, that's awesome. If they haven't, it doesn't matter to me really. Want them to focus more on just the game in front of them that day. So yeah, that's kind of the name behind it.
Before we jump right into the cast reveal, I wanted to hear Logan and Matt. Do you have any thoughts on that?
That's exciting to me. It's always fun when you get kind of a group of people that are hopefully, mainly new to each other. I know that there might be at least one pre-existing relationship in this. I guess we'll talk about that when it comes. But outside of a couple people, this group is pretty new to me. I haven't seen a lot of these people in other games before that I've watched. So I'm excited to see some fresh faces play the game.
Yeah, I really like the backstory of everything, how your game has evolved, and it's like really exciting to get fresh faces and people who've played LRGs into this franchise, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
All right. Before we start the clip, is there any information we should know going into this video?
I mean, yeah, they're not like super long. This was like when everyone arrived and signed in and, filled out their waiver and everything. We just did like a quick, little video. Like some people took a little longer than others, just kind of like what their name is, what they're going to bring to the game. And yeah, like you said, there are some pre-existing relationships I didn't even know about that people knew each other. They didn't even tell me in the casting process, which is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's nothing crazy, but I think it gives you a little bit of like what they're going to bring into the game for the season.
All right, let's get this started. I think Will might be up first.
Hey y'all, I'm Will. I am really excited. This is my 7th LRG. My game is really heavy social, so historically I usually end up going around like 5 or 7, and I think a lot of it is because I rely very socially. I'm very good at jury management. A lot of people forget about that. But people lean into that really quickly, so then I get cut. So I think this time around, I'm really going to not rely as heavily on alliances and really try to push the strategy and take a lot more risk. Even if I go pre-jury, I've made jury enough, I don't need that on my resume anymore. So I'm playing hard, and I'm really excited. And I not only bring the drama, but I am the villain. So you are excited for a great game. Oh, and I'm the queen of finding idols. So if there are any, get excited for some shocking plays as well. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Annika.
All right, we'll pause it there. Logan, what are your initial thoughts on Will?
I like him. He's self-aware. He has to make adjustments to their game that shows that they're a smart player, and I'm excited for them.
Matt, did you have anything in
Yeah,
there?
I liked Will too. I definitely get the social vibes. So I think he was accurately describing himself. He seems like someone that's going to get along with anyone and that people are going to gravitate towards. He has lots of experience. I do like that he said that, he's kind of gotten deep into these games, but kind of got cut before the end game there, and that he's kind of just going to play a little bit of a different style this time. And I think sometimes when you just abandon thinking too much and kind of just let yourself go to that and play a little differently than maybe you're accustomed to, I think that can yield some good results sometimes. So yeah, I'm interested to see what Will can do here.
There were two things to me that stood out, and it was one that he said, like, I don't care if I get pre-jury, I don't care how I place. He's playing a little bit with house money, so he's willing to be more dangerous, willing to search for idols, willing to sort of be out there more. And then it was that he gets cut because he has good jury management, which the fact that you know that already means that you're a little bit more of a threat than someone who's newer to the game might be. Shows again that he's self-aware and shows that he might be a threat early and later on in the game. Devin, were there any behind the scenes, any casting info on Will you can give us without spoiling anything?
Yeah, I mean, right away, I'm like, we got to get Will on. He is also a drag queen, so he's like a drag queen and a therapist is kind of his occupation. So keep that in mind too. He definitely was someone I was excited to see bring entertainment value, and then, his experience playing too was, eye-opening to see, like, he's aware of, like you said, he's aware of what he's going to bring. So yeah, that's all I had.
All right, let's get started on Annika.
Queen of finding idols. So if there are any, get excited for some shocking plays as well. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Annika. I'm super excited to play today. I think that I am bringing in really strong social game. That's really the way I'm going to try to move, is trying to make good relationships that I can leverage to get information that I need. And I'm pretty good at that, so I think that'll be well and good. I have a lot of energy and a lot of confidence, so I feel like that's going to be my biggest asset coming into this, is really just trying to make all the connections and do that really quickly, and I think that'll be what helps me go.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
That was a good intro. They said they wanted to have that social game. They wanted to build their bonds, and they know that that's what they're good at. Matt, did you get that same energy from Annika?
Yeah, definitely. She seemed really approachable, like, again, someone that I think people are going to gravitate towards. And honestly, I don't get big threat vibes from her. I don't think that people are going to be, concerned about going far with her. So I think that's going to work in her favor. The thing that I'm wondering is, does she have the killer instinct to kind of make the big moves when she needs to? And maybe she does, and she's good at kind of hiding that. I wasn't getting that just from that package, but maybe that's some good camouflage that she's got going on. So yeah, interested to see what she can do.
Yeah, so she said confidence. She has confidence, and that is key. I feel like her confidence is going to get her far in this game. And she will be, I think she will be underestimated, but she gives off like a nice bubbly personality, and I feel like she'll go far.
My one note for Annika is that she said, I'm big energy. I have a lot of energy. I'm very social. I wasn't really feeling that in the interview, and maybe it's because it was filmed at 9 a.m. Devin, you can clue us in there. But I need to see her, if she has the social game, to be a little bit more poppin' to go talk to people. But hopefully we see that on the screen. I seems like an early person that you can root for. Devin, how is that? What are your thoughts on our thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty accurate. I think everybody in these interviews, besides maybe a few, are like a little bit nervous, like, let's get things going. But yeah, I mean, she is a very social person. I think you will see that. So I think you guys, you know, three have a pretty good idea of what she might bring. So that's all I'll say. So I agree with what you guys are saying.
All right, let's hop on to our next.
The end of this is really
guest.
just trying to make all the connections and do that really quickly, and I think that'll be what helps me go.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm 25. I'm from Chicago, and I'm excited. I think my interesting part of my background is that I produce another Survivor game. I played in it as well, but I think I would consider myself a producer first and foremost, and I just wanted to play another game. I played once, and I wanted to play another game just to see how this one goes. My strategy is to do whatever would be the most fun, because I think I care. Like, my priority level of playing games is number 1 to have fun, number 2 to win. So I don't know, like, that's not to say I don't want to win. Like, I will certainly be trying, and it's like not fun if you don't try. But I am so motivated by I just this is one day, this is for fun. I want to do I'm not gonna play play safe for the sake of maybe this will get me farther. I'd rather get voted out and have fun than get to the end and be lame and not get any votes. That's silly. So last night I was scrolling social media. I was scrolling Blue Sky, and I saw someone post I'm playing my first LRG tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I clicked on the profile of the person because I was like, I wonder if we're playing the same game. Right. And she's said Wisconsin, and I think it's Kira who just signed in right after me, and I never reached out to her. Yeah. But I just I don't know if this ever becomes relevant. I'm giving you the clip right now. I did see online. I didn't even like the post, but just in case it becomes relevant, here's the origins of our epic story.
Hi, I'm Kira.
That was Rebecca. Certainly a lot of positive energy going on there. Logan, what were your thoughts on that?
Wow, that's so far. No offense to the other two, that's my favorite player going into it so far. Firstly, the Jazzercise shirt, awesome. But her having producer knowledge on the game is very interesting, and I like how to see how she would use that to her advantage in this game. And then the little clip of her talking about Kira, that was fun. I'm hoping there's some sort of banter between them in the upcoming season.
I mean, pregame relationships, they're all over the place, and I'm sure we'll get into that more later. But I think the best pregame relationship is knowing someone and they don't know you, because that's all the power. Information is power in this game. I look forward to see how she will use that, and there's not a whole lot you can do being like, oh, I know that you have a Twitter or Blue Sky account. But even going in partially knowing someone, these bonds in the game, they'll be very quick, and it'll get you an early head start. Matt, what were your takes?
Yeah, I loved Rebecca. I was smiling the whole way through her interview here. I think people underestimate kind of the clothing that you wear in an LRG, and I feel like wearing something like a purple Jazzercise sweater is really great because it endears people to you. It's something interesting. It's something that says I'm just here to have a good time. I'm not a threat, and that's kind of what she articulated too. So I think she's firing on all cylinders there. And I love that she kind of accidentally did her research for this game by scoping out some folks that might be playing. So she's 2 steps ahead already.
Devin, you have any? Did you know this going in? Did you know that people were posting early about their thing? I thought usually they tell them not to post that you're on an LRG.
No, I mean, since I'm like new to this, I didn't really think that far ahead. I mean, to be honest, but I had no clue, and I was the one interviewing Rebecca here. So when she said that, I'm like, oh, this will be interesting how it's going to pan out. So yeah, Rebecca brings a lot of energy. She's super social, as you can tell. She can get along with anybody. We'll see if she gets along with Kira, but yeah, think you are in the right mindset that y'all are excited about her.
One other thing real quick that I wanted to add about her, I know that she mentioned that she produces her own LRG, right? And I think that gives you great experience for playing a game, kind of like being behind the scenes and like even watching people's confessionals and hearing how they talk, different people talk about the game, and, you know, watching people lie to other people and kind of knowing, you know, more about people's tells. That's really great experience to have actually playing the game. So I'm interested to see if that kind of helps give her a leg up too.
And I stand by it fully that if you ever see an LRG host or producer in a game, you should vote them out first. Never trust them, right, Devin? All right. We talked a little bit about Kira. Why don't we see what her interview is like alone?
Here's the origins of our epic story.
Hi, I'm Kira. I am a pretty big Survivor fan, so I'm excited to play this, although I've never played an LRG, so a little nervous, but my strategy is probably just to be like flexible, adaptable. I mean, I think I'm a pretty loyal person and like would love to have some people that I can trust and share info with, but I don't want to have just like one locked in plan and then the personalities in the game like don't work with what my plan is. So I just kind of want to get to know people and feel them out as fast as I can and see what will work with this group.
All right, so I'm Atticus. I'm 32.
That was the other half of the potential duo, Kira. I enjoyed that she was a big Survivor fan. It does worry me a little bit that she's never played an LRG, but we all know rookies are the most dangerous, the unknown quantities. But in this case, she is a little bit of a known quantity. Yeah. What were your two thoughts? What did you think about how Kira was doing?
Yeah, everyone seems really nice in this cast. I'll say that so far. So good to see a newbie here, someone new to the LRG community. I thought it was interesting that she kind of talked about, you know, wanting to come in, being flexible and kind of not being too set on a specific strategy. And I feel like I could go either way on that because, you know, sometimes when you're a newbie, you come in and you have this specific strategy that, you know, you've overthought going into the game and you're going to stick to that at all costs. And then when the game changes around you, you're not flexible enough to move with it. So it is good that she's thinking about that. On the other hand, I do hope that she's thinking a little bit of kind of some type of strategy, you know, one or two that she can kind of have in her back pocket, because the other thing about coming in as a newbie is if you just come in and you don't start making moves and kind of bonds and things right away, especially in a quick game like this, it can really hurt you. So I could see it going either way.
Yeah, so I'm a little biased because she's a newbie, and I'm going to be rooting for all the newbies. So I like how she mentioned how she wants to be flexible and how she wants to, you know, move around the game and, you know, make sure everything goes good. But she said she's really loyal. That's good, but also for a new player, that could be a little dangerous because you never know these previous players who've played before. And if you stick with them, you might not know if they'll backstab you. So hopefully she's not too loyal, but being loyal is also good. So,
yeah. Devin, I don't know if you caught all of that, but is there any behind the scenes, any thoughts you had on Kira?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that she's new to this and we're excited to have her on. She's definitely going to bring it. So watch out for that. But yeah, it's interesting just thinking how like Rebecca says she knows her, you know, from seeing that. So yeah, I think the assessment's good and she'll be someone to be excited about for sure early on, at least in the minimum.
All right. I think we saw a little bit of her. Let's learn a little about our next contestant, Atticus.
So I just kind of want to get to know people and feel them out as fast as I can and see what will work with this group.
All right, so I'm Atticus. I'm 32 years old. I have played one LRG before, and I have won. So I'm hoping to kind of keep that low key. Funnily enough, the runner-up of that game is playing today. So
who is that?
Amaris.
Okay.
So I'm a little worried. I would like to work with her again, but I kind of feel like she's probably going to put a target on my back. So hoping I can just kind of weave through that, stay loyal to her. Hopefully she stays loyal to me this time. I don't know. I'm a really strategic player. I'm not good physically, so challenges are not my strong suit. So I have to rely on my brain to get me through these games. But I'm really excited to play and hopefully sneak out another win.
Awesome. My name is Maris. I'm 20.
Give me 1 second. I got to finish up my notes. That was Atticus. I loved that they're a one-time winner, one-time player. So it proves they're right now batting 100. Looking to maybe make it 100 still. I guess 2 wins under their belt. Seems like they might be afflicted with the pregame curse, the pregame illness, whatever it might be. What did the panel think about Atticus?
I feel like Atticus is definitely going to be a character in this game. He's got some really interesting vibes going on. I'm a little worried about him kind of thinking about the people that we've already seen, because I feel like we've seen kind of some very, bubbly, but kind of a little more low-key, sweet people. And Atticus gives me a little bit of maybe he's a scheming kind of guy vibes, and I wonder if people are going to pick up on that right away. Also, if it's, did he say that the person that came runner-up to him in a game is playing?
Yes, I think that was Amaris.
Yeah, it's like if you're out there with the one person that beat you, like you're going to try and get one over on them. So that's going to be a really fun storyline to watch. So I don't know how far Atticus will go, but I think he's going to give us a show no matter how long he's there.
Yeah, so I've played an org with Atticus before. He's a great person, a great player. So I'm excited to see him in an LRG. Yeah, it's crazy that they've only played once and got a win, and their runner-up person is there. It's going to be, hopefully there's some sort of rivalry there, some sort of beef. That'll be fun to see. Man, there was something else I was going to say and I forgot.
Well, I'll throw it over to Devin, and if
Yeah.
you get it back, let me know. But Devin, you said you didn't know all the pregame relationships. Was this one you were aware of, and what can we look forward to from Atticus?
No, I did not know again that they played in the same one and were the final, the first and second place. Atticus, he seems pretty confident going into it because he's played one time, he's won, he's feeling undefeated, so we'll see if that affects him or not early on. But he's definitely a confident player and definitely social. So like you said, with the schemey kind of how he gives that off, we'll see if people pick up on that or not right away.
Yeah, so I remembered, thank God. To piggyback off of Matt, everyone previously has said, oh, I'm, social, loyal. This is the first person we've seen that's like, I need to use my brain. And that could both be good and bad, because with this group of personalities, it might bode well for them or it might rub people the wrong way. So I'm hoping Atticus gets a good footing and makes it far.
Yeah. Well, here is to hoping they pull it out. Let's look at who's next. It might be Amara.
Please, so challenges are not.
I cannot tell you. Let's see.
Awesome. My name is Maris. I'm 28, and I'm super excited to play. I know a few people here, but not very many looking around. So I think maybe playing on those alliances, but trying to form tighter bonds too, so those can carry with me. I think my strength is definitely my social game. Maybe puzzles, but like endurance or athletic challenges will not be good for me. So I'm hoping to get past those with the alliances.
All right, it's John V. I'm 35.
Not a whole lot to work with in the short Maris interview. The notes I got down were that their strength is going to be their social game, and they are not going to be good at comps. In these early games, especially in these one-day games, they can go so quick that won't be a deficit. And then sometimes if you're on a tribe that loses and loses again, it could be, all right, maybe we got to find who the weak link is. Definitely interested and worried to see how that plays out. Logan, what did you think about this interview?
Yeah, I'm kind of getting Danny Boatwright vibes from her. Kind of keeping her cards close to her chest. Not saying too much, but saying just enough to make you think like she might has what it takes to go far. You know, saying what her strengths and her weaknesses could be. Like I'm kind of getting good vibes from her.
Yeah, she seems good too. A little more low key, I think, than a couple of other people. We didn't get a whole lot from the interview. She was a little shorter, but obviously she knows how to play the game because she's gone all the way to the end before. So she's got the chops. I feel like she's got the sunglasses on the top of the head. So she's, I'm open to people, but I'm ready to shade out the haters if I need to. So she's ready to go there. And yeah, I think she's going to be gunning for Atticus. That's my prediction.
Devin, we tell me what you thought of Maris. I'll come up with words.
Yeah, I mean, her interview was quick, like I said. I thought it was interesting how she didn't bring up Atticus at all. I think that's a little bit telling too. Well, Atticus did bring her up in his interview. Yeah, I think she's got more to give than just a short little interview. So definitely don't be hesitant with maybe picking her because she's definitely a social butterfly, like she said. When everyone was getting there, I did let them talk to each other a little bit and seemed like she was talking with everybody like pretty easily. So yeah, I think there's more than what she's given in this interview for sure. I think maybe a little nervous, just a quick thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of short things, I believe up next we have John V. Let's get to his interview. It's gonna kill me for that.
With the alliances.
All right, it's John V. I'm 35 years old. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. If anybody notices me, this is probably my 18th LRG. I was the villain of the year last year, and I think what I'm going to bring to this game is if people aren't a lot of gamers or people just want to be tribe strong, I'm going to utilize that as far as I can, and so I got to cut their strings off. I do have an ace in the sleeve. My girlfriend is actually playing, but she is a 2-time champ, and I want to beat her, so I might throw her into Final 4, Final 7. I just want to win. Like I said, it's my 16th. I've been burned. I lost in Final 4, Final 2, Final 3. I think it's my time to win. In the great state of Wisconsin, I'm here to, dominate and conquer.
All right. My name's...
That was the wonderful and never forgotten John V. I have notes for everyone. Usually they're 4 or 5 lines long, but I just wrote down John V. It'd be impossible not to recognize his impact on the LRG community. He said it's 18. I'm going to take his word for it that he's played 18 of these. So Logan, I don't think you're rather new. You haven't encountered John V yet. So what has your impression been through this and through other mediums you may have met him through?
Well, in the orgs we play, I know he plays a very, very loyal game, and if you cross him, either it being that game or the next game, he's going to hold a grudge, and he will come for you. So, hearing that he might even take out his girlfriend in this game is very exciting and very interesting, and I'm here for it. I love John V. He's funny. He's great. He's just like the whole package for this type of game, I suppose. It's like the villain you kind of want to root against, but at the same time you want to root for him.
Yeah. Matt, do you get loyal vibes from John V?
That's a complicated question. I have had the fortune to play a game with John, my first game with John, and I was on a couple of tribes with him, and he's a good friend. Interested to see how he does in this game. I know he mentioned that he's willing to cut his girlfriend, but I will believe it when I see it. I don't know if those are big words or not. I'm interested to kind of track that storyline and how that goes. The thing with John is, you see him right away, and he's this, guy with the New York accent. He's got the tattoos, maybe looks a little intimidating to some people, but he's really good at kind of making you feel like you're good with him, whether you are or not, and kind of building like good relationships in the game. And I know he's really looking for his first win here. He's hungry for that. So he's going to be playing hard, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah. I would say there's only 3 things that are certain in life. It's death, taxes, and John V applying to all your LRGs. So Devin, what was your reaction like when John V came across your desk, your interview, and of course how they did in this pregame at least?
Yeah, when John V sent the audition little thing I asked for, yeah, John brought the villain arc right away. I'm like, John needs to be on this. Didn't really know how many times he played. He didn't really say that I remember until this interview. So I didn't know that he was such a big name. I mean, he said villain of the year, but I didn't really know what that meant really, necessarily. But I'm glad he's on this season. I love when entertaining players play. I mean, you three covered it pretty well with John V. So yeah.
Yeah. We do have an audience question based on our initial, at least, impressions, just going off, not through legacy, but just going off our interviews. Who do we think is going to be the bigger villain, Will or John?
I don't know. I'm kind of getting Will. I think Will has the arc to become the villain of this season. So I don't know. I'm feeling Will.
Yeah, I think sometimes John brings the villain for sure in the confessionals, but maybe sometimes his game can be a little bit more loyal depending on which game it is and who's there and what's going on. So I don't know. Maybe both. We'll see.
I definitely look forward to it, at least on the interviews. Just on the interviews, I'm thinking it might be Will, but John V does nothing but surprise us a lot. So we'll truly have to watch the season and find out. But we heard a little about, we didn't even talk about how John V's girlfriend is playing the game, but let's let the player of the year 2024 introduce themselves, or 2023, sorry, introduce themselves.
I've been burned. I will win. In the great state of Wisconsin, I'm here to, dominate and conquer.
All right. My name's Taylor. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm super excited to be here today. Looking forward to having some strong gameplay, probably slide under the radar. I don't think a lot of people here would recognize me, so they might underestimate me, which is a good thing. That's what I always do in games, and it always works for me. I do have a couple aces up my sleeve. I have John playing, who's my boyfriend. We met 3 years ago in a Survivor game. And I also have my coworker Natalie here. I recruited her to play into this little crazy world. She's never played a game before, but we're going to pretend we don't know each other, hoping no one recognizes us, but I'm looking forward to today.
All right, hi, my name.
All right. That was the wonderful Taylor Clark. Logan, I also don't know if you've crossed paths with her before, but I'm sure you've at least heard once or twice of her. I think John said that she's also a multi-time winner, multi-time player of the year, and all around, does pretty well in the games they do. What did you get? What were your takeaways from this interview?
So unfortunately, I've never played an org with her. I have played Fortnite with her, which was fun. But yeah, her and John can keep under wraps that they don't know each other. I feel like Taylor can definitely get far in this game, as well as her having Natalie. That's crazy. Having your coworker apply, that's fun. So I'm thinking if she can keep both of those under wraps, and depending on how those two people play, I feel like in the long run, it's going to benefit her the most out of the three of them.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor's probably one of the best LRG players out there. 2 wins. She's probably gotten to the end of other games as well. And I love the way that she plays because she never gets like too high or too low in a game. Like no matter whether she's on the top or on the bottom, she's always pretty even keel and like very just kind of cognizant of what she needs to do to advance. And I think people kind of gravitate to her because of that kind of that calm demeanor that she has. And obviously she's set up really well in this game with kind of 2 prior connections here. So I don't know. You can never bet against Taylor in a game like this.
I always hear Taylor likes to talk about how she has a lot of number ones. Matt, have you ever been Taylor's number one in a game?
I did play a 1-day kind of lake house mini with Taylor one time. And I had the chance to vote her out and I didn't do it. And then I suffered for it after that. So.
Yeah, but Devin, what were your initial first impressions when you met Taylor, and how did those impressions sort of grow as the game went on?
Yeah, with Taylor, when she sent me her intro video, she said she's very a little bit quiet, but she said she's like aware of that and she's going to use that to her advantage, which I think is really key because a lot of times in my other games I've done, there's usually a quiet person, and unfortunately they usually kind of get dragged to the end and no one really sees them as a threat. But the fact that she's aware of that, I didn't know she wanted stuff beforehand. I did know her and John were boyfriend girlfriend. That was the only relationship I knew about. Didn't know her friend Natalie was her friend. So everyone was a little short about that with me, which it is what it is. But the fact that she's so confident is really key. With that, she's aware of what her kind of tactic needs to be to play this game, and she definitely, she's a good player. I mean, you'll see early on, like I'm like, okay, yeah, it's okay that she's a little quieter, So
yeah. We've certainly seen her use these strategies to her benefit before. The question is, will they work in a game that have people who might know her, who might be leaking her secrets, and boyfriends who might be working against her? Only way to find out is to watch. But until then, let's find out a little bit more about her coworker, Natalie.
Yes, but I'm looking forward to today.
All right, hi, my name is Natalie. I'm going in here trying to win. I'm going to win because I am usually the type to not put myself out there right away. I kind of attach myself to the strong players, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the strong players, attach myself to them, and just ride the wave all the way to the finish line. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes. It's going to blow up in my face. We'll see.
So, my mic was muted. Certainly one of the strategies of all time. They said they wanted to find the strong players and ride that wave. I'm interested to see how that plays out because I think we've seen some strong players before. We've seen some people say that they want to fall into the shadows, but haven't seen this exact play out before. Logan, what did you think about this?
Yeah, it's kind of exciting seeing a meat shield type strategy, trying to align yourself with the bigger players. It's just the fact that I could see her maybe aligning with someone like a Will or a John V and Taylor, and then her gameplay might get overshadowed because of that. But I feel like she could have what it takes to sell her game to a jury if she makes it to that point. And she's with those stronger people.
Yeah, I love her energy. I feel like she's going to be a firecracker. And I think she's set up well here, kind of knowing Taylor. Then by extension, there's John there. And it's, if she could go to the end with those two and, maybe the jury, finds out that John and Taylor had this pre-existing relationship, maybe that burns them. And then she can kind of shine and kind of break through that and be the person that they vote for at the end. That might be a good strategy for her.
Yeah. Of course, I love to see the rookies come in. I'd love to see what Natalie's going to do. And very interested to see how this plays out. But until then, let's find out about our next cast member.
We'll see.
So my name is Tyler. I am 21 years old from outside Chicago, Illinois, and I am super excited to be playing in this game. I am the president of the Survivor Club at my college, University of Minnesota. I've hosted a couple seasons. I've played in a bunch of seasons. I don't want to tell people the extent of my Survivor fandom, Survivor knowledge, I guess. I know a lot of people here are going to be very much into the game, but I want to kind of downplay how much of a role I have in the club that I have at school. And I want to be like a social player. I definitely want to pick up from some of the mistakes I've made in my previous games. This is beneficial because I don't know any of these people. When I play at school, everyone knows my game, and so it ends up worse for me. So this time I'm going to definitely try to just make a web of connections and then have at it.
Well, I love to see fellow hosts, presidents, and college alumni playing in LRGs. Obviously an early route for me, perhaps. Matt, do you find yourself rooting for Tyler?
Yeah, I definitely want to see what he can do. I think it's good that he's already kind of aware of, I might give off this kind of super fan vibe. And while it's not as bad of a, thing to have kind of surrounding you in these types of games versus like CBS Survivor, because we're all most of us are big fans that play these games. there's still a little bit of that seed in there of like, oh, you know, like he's like the real fan. He's like the fan that knows like every season and everything about Survivor. So that can still get you sometimes. So it's really good that he's aware of that and he's going to try and downplay it. Interesting that, you know, that he's not connected to anyone. We've seen kind of several connections here so far. That could really open him up to, you know, playing with the people that are really best for his game and moving himself forward. So that could be a good thing, or he could get kind of lost in the shuffle of some of these connections and, you know, not get those bonds when he needs to. So, yeah, I think it could go either way for him. I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, you know. If he doesn't have any pre-existing connections, it's either going to really help him gel with everyone, or it's really going to hurt him and people are going to view him as like, you know, I guess I don't know the right word, but it could be good or bad. And then when it comes to him being the president in their college, that's fun. But I definitely think they should keep it to himself, even though we're all super fans of the show, because you never know when that one little thing might make someone paranoid and then they'll just vote you out because of that. So I'm rooting for him.
Yeah. I think Devin. I think Tyler comes in at one of the younger players on the cast. He said he's 21. Devin, did you get the younger vibes? Do we see that sort of young personality come out during the game?
Yeah, I would say so. Because there's a variety of different ages. There's some people over 30. Most of the people are like mid to late 20s. So Tyler and one other person were on the younger side. But he's definitely willing to talk to everybody. And I was happy to hear that he didn't have any like pre-existing connections. So I honestly think that's a good thing. And it's cool to see him get out of his Minnesota game he does himself to like get a fresh start, see what he can really do when there's like no pre-existing judge on him.
All right. Let's see who is next on our list.
Have at it.
Cool. What's up? My name is Ben. I live in Madison. My strategy is, first of all, to lie about what I do. I work for an insurance company, and like people think insurance is shady. It kind of is. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm a teacher, first grade. I think what I'm gonna rely on is that people tell me I could like make friends with a blade of grass, and I honestly think it's true. Like it's just so easy. So I'm gonna be friends with everybody. That's kind of always been my strategy, and then lay low at the start. Like I have a big personality. I need to temper it back. I obviously talk really fast and really loud. So lay low, temper that out. And then as the game goes on, like start to do things slowly more and more. I like to plant little lies, turn people against each other, but you have to like have everyone trust you to be able to do that. So that's the strat.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
All right. That was Ben. Ben said that he wanted to lay low, but I wrote down in my notes, he said he wants to lay low, but I don't see him being the personality that can lay low. In these games, there's only 13 players. There's only so many people, so many combinations. I got a lot of positive energy. I got a lot of talking. I got a lot of very loud. He's comfortable in front of a camera. And then he said he wanted to lay low, and maybe it's just the confessional jitters, the confessional, the way he comes off. That was not what I expected him to say. Logan, do you see Ben's personality sort of shining through, or do you think that he's going to be able to fall back into the limelight?
I don't know. Like he says he wants to lay low, but at the same time, he's saying he wants to spread lies and then also be friends with everyone. So it's kind of like he'll maybe lay low for the first 10 minutes and then he'll just do what he knows best and makes friends with everyone and then becomes a target after spreading lies and whatnot. So it's exciting to see how he will do, seeing which way he might go. And I'm pumped. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, Ben kind of strikes me as someone that is just very authentically himself. He seems like a really fun, like energetic, go get him type of guy. But I don't know that he'll be able to tamper that down in a game like this. We'll see. I mean, he could make that work to his advantage, you know, if he just kind of funneled that energy into a really good social game and didn't come off as like schemy or, you know, like a snake. But yeah, I could see him getting in some trouble early maybe, but I hope not. I hope he does well.
Yeah. Devin, did you what were your thoughts on Ben?
Yeah, I was probably most excited to see him play out anybody. I actually met him previously before the game started. Like he applied, and then I met him at like a Survivor watch party in Milwaukee. And yeah, the guy loves to talk. He's a great guy. So we'll see if he can hold that back a little bit and not be too much, up front. Like he said, he wants to lay low. Like you said, it's going to be tough for him to do because he's a very energetic person, which is a good thing. And he's a big Survivor fan. So we'll see if that comes into play with him. And I thought it was funny him lying about his job. I'll say this, it definitely is going to come into play at least early in the game. So yeah.
Sorry, finishing up my notes. It looks like John V might have just learned that he's not a teacher for the first time, but we'll see how that plays out. And let's look at our next contestant.
Like have everyone trust you to be able to do that. So that's the start.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I think I bring to the game an analytical mind and a good social skill set. I think my strategy going forward is going to be to make little connections with everyone and hopefully do well at some of the games.
Okay, my name is Zach.
That was quite short. Not as short as one of our other contestants, but we will. That was Maddie. I wrote down that they are strategic and analytical, and then the clip ended. Not a whole lot to work with, but a lot of positive energy coming out there. Matt, what did you think about this?
Maddie seems very sassy, which is a fun thing. If anything, I think she's going to be really good in the confessionals. I think she's going to have a lot to say. Yeah, I don't know where she's going to fit in on this cast necessarily. I wonder if people might kind of get that like sassy energy and not kind of vibe with it in the game. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm interested to see how she does.
Yeah, so not a lot to work with, but she did say she was analytical, and I do like that. When you hear people talk about strategy, they talk about like making the moves, but when you just say like thinking about numbers or being analytical, that shows that they do have the brain power to be strategic. So I also do get sassy vibes. I feel like if you cross Maddie won't be scared to clap back. So I'm excited to see what Maddie brings to this season.
Devin, what can you tell us about Maddie that we did not catch in this short clip?
Well, first off, sassy is definitely the great way to describe Maddie. She's very social. I know it's quick, but she definitely was probably up there with Amaris, even though they had the shortest two videos. I noticed them talking to everybody before the game started probably the most. She's very confident in her ability to, get along with people and just in the game. She's very analytical, like she said. When she sent me her initial interview and stuff, she definitely gave off like kind of Suri vibes a little bit, like really social. Everyone wants to be friends with her. But then she's also like even more confident like than a Suri is. So yeah, I was excited to have her on for sure.
I think she might work really well with Will. I feel like they both seem like really confident, like social people. I could see the two of them vibing pretty well.
All right. I definitely could see that too. But until then, I would like to learn about the last contestant. So without further ado, let's take a look.
Strategy and hopefully do well at some of the games.
Okay, my name is Zach, and my strategy, I don't even know. Just gotta adapt as much as you can, honestly. I'm just trying to talk to the people that I think are worth talking to, because, you can't talk to everyone at once. And go from there, just to learn about people to a certain extent and figure out their weaknesses and then try to exploit those. So just ready for that.
Awesome.
All right, that was our last contestant, Zach. They said they wanted to find people's weaknesses and exploit them. It's a very valid strategy. This is going to be a very quick-paced game, so I want to see how that works. Logan, what were your takeaways from this interview?
Yeah, when he said that he's only going to talk to the people that he thinks is worth talking to, that was pretty cool, pretty fun. I don't know how well that'll bode well for him in the game. And then him exploiting the weaknesses. If he can pull that off, he might be my winner pick. He's stuck between winner pick and first boot for me at this point, because he's giving Richard/Brian Heidick, or he's giving Zane Knight. So I'm excited to see how well Zach will do. This might be the person I'm most excited to see.
Devin,
Yeah.
I saw you smiling a lot when we were giving our thoughts. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, Zach's a really fun guy. He's from Iowa. He's the youngest on the cast. Didn't know anybody either beforehand, like Tyler, and they're the two youngest ones. Yeah, you just like want to be around Zach. Like he likes to have a fun time. But I think he hides that well. Where like, in the back of his mind, he has a plan. Like you said, he's going to try to exploit lying with having a smile on his face. So I'm glad you guys are excited about him, because when he sent me the video in the middle of Iowa, I'm like, this guy's going to make the 5-hour drive over here, and he's definitely going to leave it all out there with that drive. So
yeah, he seems like he's going to be casting gold, whether he's there for an episode or the entire season. I'll be happy to have however much of him we can have on our TV screens. His laugh kind of reminds me of Johnny Mac, for those of you Big Brother fans out there. That's kind of what it was giving to me. And yeah, like Logan said, I can see it going two ways. I could see him kind of getting lost in the sauce with the strategy, or, maybe he can play this kind of like Fabio game where he just kind of, floats through and people don't worry about him and he's kind of charming. So he's going to be fun to watch.
All right. Well, those were our 13 contestants for Survivor Wisconsin Season 7. But we originally had it planned. We were going to do a little bit of a draft, but had a little more fun of an idea. So what we have planned tonight is very exciting, and it's our new format. So please give us some patience, give us some leeway if it does not go perfectly. We had a bit of an auction plan. So if we could all change our usernames if relevant. Let me try and figure that out immediately. How this is going to work is we will be hosted by the wonderful Devin. Unfortunately, Devin, I don't think you are really fit to draft in this scenario. I feel like you might have a tiny bit of an advantage over us. So I've designated you as our auctioneer. You'll tell us, you can choose a random order. You can make it very specific. If you want to hide some secrets in there, knock yourself out. But if you could give us an order to the contestants one by one, don't tell us what's coming up next. And I'll put their graphics up on screen. We'll start the bidding at $5. And then if we get 5 players in our draft, we're locked out, cannot bid anymore. Our goal for me, Matt, and Logan is to get the highest average placement of our draft. And then there'll be some bonus points at the end, but we'll get to that when it is relevant. What's it? Matt, did you have any thoughts on this auction? Do you have any strategy you're willing to share with us going into it?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm already worried that there's one person that we're all going to be fighting over, and I'll just be interested to see if that happens. So I'll just say that.
Logan,
yeah, I got my eye on 2 people, and I'm hoping they're in my corner this season.
Yeah. Devin, as our auctioneer, please let me know who we will be bidding on first.
Yeah, so first we'll be bidding on Amaris.
Amaris. All right. It's the one photo I already have prepared.
There you go.
Oh, and where'd it go? There we go. This is Amaris. Give us a little bit of an intro, and then you can start the bidding off for us.
Yeah, Amaris, like we said, she had a shorter Meet the Cast video, but she's definitely very social. And she played once. She's played a couple times I know of, and last time she played, she got second to Atticus. So yeah, I think there's more to the eye than just that short video. So we'll start the bidding at $5 for whoever wants it first.
I'll do 5.
Yeah.
I'll do 10.
I'll do 15.
I didn't realize she'd gotten to 3 finals. That
is that worth bidding it up for you, Matt?
I think I'm gonna hold off for now.
I'll do 20.
Going once. Going
shit.
twice. Sold.
I'm at 20
$15,
right
Logan.
Wait, hold on.
No.
Hold on. Did I mute? Did I mute?
Gible had it at 20.
Oh.
I had it at 20.
Sorry.
Anyone else want 20?
Logan, you gonna get back in?
This was kind of hoping my winner pick, maybe.
It's only
25.
if it's winner pick, you mind it's $25,
Yeah,
right?
25. I'll do 25.
Well, now that I know it's his winner pick, maybe I want to bid
No.
it up. Matt, you got to help me out here.
I think I'm gonna hold for now. Let you guys battle it out.
If she's truly your winner pick, I'll let you have it then.
Thank you.
All right, 25 sold to Logan.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us a little bit about why you chose Maris. Why is she as your winner pick at this stage in the game?
I don't know. When I said Danny Boatwright vibes, I don't know. I was stuck with it. She just has that aura that she knows what to tell, what not to tell, who to align with, and then just she seems really, really, really smart. So that's my winner pick is Amaris.
I wrote down in my notes she knows a few people, and we only know of the Atticus. So maybe she'll be able to catch on to John V or Taylor or some of the other locals in the area. I didn't know how well she did. I didn't get I talked a little bit about how she said she wasn't good at comps, which sometimes that confidence is what'll get you kicked off early on. That's why I didn't go much higher, but I think for $25 you got a pretty good pick.
All right, next we'll do Ben.
Ben. Let me get that prepared. Tell us a little bit about Ben while I pull up the graphic.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Ben's a very social guy, loves to talk, which can be good or bad, I guess, in a game of Survivor, but definitely easy to make friends. And you gotta do it really quick in a fast-paced one-day game. So,
all right. Anyone want to start the bidding off?
I'll do 5.
I'm worried about Ben lying about his job because I feel like that's a lot to keep up with everything else that's going on in a short game, and I feel like he's going to slip up somewhere or something. So I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't want to touch the hot stove.
I would bid. I would bid a lot more on Ben if he wasn't saying that he wanted to lay low. This isn't a game. I don't think that laying low is necessarily going to be the right strategy. I'm just stuck on that right now.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's sold to Logan at 5. It sounds like then.
All right. Welcome to the team, Ben. Welcome to the team.
All right, you lock in Ben on your team. You have 3 slots left, so don't go wasting them.
Yeah.
I think I sort of said my thoughts. It's just, I mean, I'm sure Ben has a bright future. He's gonna have a fun time at this game. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure Ben is what I'm looking for on my draft team right now.
All right, let's see if Will's what you're looking for.
Let's find out. Image file. Will. It's Will.
I will bid 5 on Will.
Let me go back to my notes.
I think I'm going to sit this one out, which sucks. But, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out.
I'll go 15.
Wow.
I think right?
I only bid twice. It's not like
too rich for my blood this early, I think. I'll let you have it.
You saved your 100 for your one winner pick. All right,
15.
Am I getting Will?
Yep.
All right, I'm adding Will to my draft board for $15. It means I got to take that off my name. I had in my notes, they've got always go pretty deep. They're very social. They're playing with house money. It seems like they know what they're doing. It seems like, they have that killer instinct. So I'm not too worried about it. The only problem is they could blow up their own game, but no, Will doesn't seem like the type to ever blow up their own game. So I'm not even going to speak it into the universe.
I think you got Will for a steal for $15.
Yeah.
I think that's
you could have kept bidding.
I know.
All right, let's see if we get Matt to bid here with Rebecca as our next person.
Rebecca.
I will start with 5.
Oh, 10. The jazzercise. 10.
I'll do 15.
Oh, fuck.
15, 20.
Gible, was that you?
Yeah, 20.
25.
Logan, you're really just gonna stop there?
Shut up.
I don't know. You just seemed so excited when Rebecca came on screen, and now you're like,
I
20.
did.
You know, it's too much.
Yeah, I remember he said that he liked her a lot. Yeah.
What was the last bid? Was it 25?
25.
Yep.
30.
I'll do 35.
Logan, I'll tell you, you don't get to take home the money that you don't spend. It's not like Survivor
No, I
Auction.
mean, that's true. That's true. Rebecca will be on my Rebecca will be on my team in my heart.
Yes.
I think how much is it at?
35.
35.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking you're getting it, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, going once. Going twice. I think you get it. 35. Tell us about it.
Rebecca is my winner pick. I was not leaving this draft without her on it. So $35 is a steal for me. I can just see her at the end, like people loving her, like coming up and hugging her after they voted for her to win. Like I just see the vision.
I remember I got down that third producer that they had a lot of fun energy. 35, maybe not what I'm looking for. Maybe now I have a little bit more of a cash advantage. Don't forget to change your bio, by the way. You know, subtract a little bit of money from it, just a little bit, and then we might see that I have the most now, but we'll see how that goes. Could be a steal. Only we'll review this and we're gonna see how that turns out after the season. But Devin, who's gonna turn out to be the next person on our draft board?
All right, so it's going to be the person that Rebecca was talking about the night before, kind of coming across, Kira.
Here we go. I'll start it off at 5.
I'm trying to think because I feel like if we're doing average placement, like I don't see Kira like going early. I don't know that I see her as the winner, but I feel like she probably like can go fairly far. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting like sniped right before merge type feeling with Kira.
Well, if there's 13 people, you know, merge, it might be at final 6 for all we know.
True.
Sticking at 5 for Kira then?
Yeah, I'll take it if you're going once.
All right, I think she's yours.
All right. I am not upset about this at all. I'm happy for Kira, especially for $5. I will gladly take it. I think Kira will do well. I think Kira has a lot to look forward to. And I'm happy to have her on my team.
All right, next we'll do everyone's favorite villain, John V.
Oh, sorry, wrong villain. You just started talking. I was just getting the thing ready. All right, John V. There we go.
Good Lord, look at those stats.
You can tell he made the card too.
I'll do 10.
Oh, 10. Ooh.
You know, I would bid more, but it's the fact that he put his town as Brooklyn when he lives in Michigan now. Otherwise, I'd be like 100 now.
He's wearing a Syracuse shirt too.
If we were drafting the winner, I don't know that I would bid, but John V knows how to go far in a game. So I'll bid 15.
I'll do 20.
25, anybody?
I'm thinking about it, but I might get counted out.
All right, going once, going twice.
Welcome to the crew, John V.
I was just about to bid too.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
It's a good buy.
Yeah. I mean, John V. He's a wild card at the end of the day. When we're playing for placement, we're playing for winner. I'm not sure. John V's like I got Will and Kira right now. Don't know if John V fits that vibe, but we'll well, maybe I'll regret my words at the end of this.
Yeah, I think John V definitely with a shorter cast, I feel like he definitely has what it takes to at least top 5, top 6. I think he'll at least get halfway.
I think a short game can be good for him too, because I think he can kind of spin people around and like they won't even have enough, time in the game to realize what he's doing. So
yeah,
I think he's gonna do well.
Yeah. Who is up next, Devin?
All right, next we'll do Maddie.
Maddie is someone who Matt might have described as sassy early on. They had, I believe, the shortest interview, and the bidding will start at $5 for whoever wants it.
Someone's got to take her. Come on.
We're going to start drawing rocks in a second.
I'll go 5. I think she's fun energy for the team.
I don't know. My team's
so wait, her
looking...
fun fact is that she's done 2 Boundary Water backpacking and portaging trips that have gone remote camoing along the chip. I don't know what half those words are. I'm intimidated already.
She could be a fun addition to the team with John V and nah, I think I'm gonna sit this one out.
I might as well. This might be a cheap draft for you, Matt.
That's okay. I will be happy to have her on my team. I think she's going to be great TV, and I think having someone on your team, you just get to root for them that much more, and I think she will be a fun person to root for. So gladly take Maddie.
Okay. Devin, who is up next?
All right, next is Zach.
Zach.
Oh,
2-time org winner and villain of those seasons.
Whoa.
Now that you mention it, I forgot it was a one-day game, so I could actually see Zach doing pretty well. And I feel like having both John V and Zach on my team would be really, really fun. So I'll do 10. I'll start with 10.
Okay.
There's a lot of sort of beige flags in Zach's interview that keeps me from drafting him. I think you said earlier he could go far, he could go really deep, or he could be Zane Knight. I think that's what's holding me back from bidding right now.
Yeah, if it was like a 3-4 day game, I definitely think there's a chance he goes pretty early. But I don't know. I'd like to see how well he talks up his game. Let's see if he can prove himself. So I'm down to have him on my team.
So 10 for Zach. Going once, going twice.
Let's go.
Logan.
I'm at 4 players now, or am I at 3?
Yeah, so we'll do a sort of midway recap. So currently, and I'll get graphics up for this later, Matt, you have Rebecca and Maddie. Logan, you have Maris, Ben, John V, and Zach. And then I have Will and Kira on my team. That puts us at 8 of the 13 people drafted. But Devin, who is up next?
Next will be Atticus.
I'm gonna go
fun fact that they can solve a fly puzzle.
Were you about to say I'm going to go all in, Logan?
I was thinking about it.
Cool. Good, honestly.
Oh, God, I really want Atticus on my team. But there's one more person that I want on my team a little bit more than Atticus, and they haven't been shown yet, so I might wait.
Anybody want Atticus?
Gible, you got.
I almost feel bad taking it from Logan. Is the thing?
Yeah, then Logan would be capped out at 5.
I'm not gonna bid on this one.
You
Sucks.
I
want
to get him for 5 right now if you want.
You might, yeah. Just put 5 on the board. Let's see how it goes.
No, Atticus. Okay, fine. $5 for Atticus. I'll take Atticus.
All right.
I'm good with that.
All right. Your leftover money will be burned away, unfortunately.
Well, I was gonna ask Devin. Devin, what is your do you prefer like the older seasons of Survivor or sort of the newer ones?
I mean, I guess like two of my favorite seasons are like Heroes vs. Villains and Fans vs. Favorites. So the last couple seasons I think of the new era have been better, that I've enjoyed more. But I definitely older school fan. Kind of the I think the golden age is like kind of like China to like Heroes vs. Villains. That's probably like my favorite time span.
But were you a fan of like the Australian Outback and Survivor Africa?
Oh yeah. I mean it's pretty iconic. I mean Colby. Honestly excited to see him play again. Actually, just to see if he's just gonna be cranky the whole time again.
This is all really a roundabout way of me asking. Could Logan loan me and Matt money to buy people in the auction as they did in those seasons?
Oh, that's where we're going at. I don't know. Maybe that's up to Logan, I guess.
So I have $35 left. I will give.
I think Logan. Can I make my pitch?
Yeah. Holy shit.
I'm gonna plead my case, Logan. I feel like I've been very supportive of all your picks. I've never tried to outbid you. I've tried to make sure you get the ones you want, pushing you towards the right direction. I feel like if you're gonna give your money to someone, I think I would be a good person to give that to.
Wait, can I like split it between two people, or do I have to give it to just one person?
I think that's fair.
Well, you guys both have two players, right? Only.
We're at two each.
Logan, I think you should wait and see where we get to, and like maybe who's needing who, and maybe see how it plays out for people.
We'll see for the shits and giggles.
I say if you're gonna do it now or not.
Yeah, for the shits and giggles, I'm gonna give Matt $30. I'm gonna give Gible $5.
This is ridiculous. I regret.
Right. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I knew I liked it.
My idea has backfired in my face. With the new standings being Gible at $85, Matt at $90, and Logan at a goose egg.
How many people?
Devin,
how many people do we have left?
We got four people left.
5 plus 4. Yeah, we're at 9 drafted, so 4 left.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go with Taylor as the next person.
Taylor Clark.
I will bid 10 for Taylor.
10 for Taylor. I'll go 15.
That's who I was going to go all in for, by the way, was Taylor.
I had a feeling.
All right, we're at 15.
Let's do 20.
Are you willing to do 25? I'll do 25.
Let's go 30.
It's so tough. I wish I took more notes. For 30,
35, let's go. Come on.
I'm willing to let you have it for 30.
Okay. 30 to Matt.
That's a steal. I also was not leaving this draft without Taylor. I paid a lot more, so $30 is a bargain. Give me Taylor.
You're welcome for the 30.
I just I don't see a world where Taylor goes out early.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't, conjure what the situation would be unless it blows up that her and John are both there and dating, and that is causes chaos early, which I think they're going to be pretty good at hiding it. So I just don't see that vision.
Yeah, and I think as a bonus for drafting Taylor, you get Amy on your team as well.
Yeah.
Let's go, Amy.
All right. There, I believe, are two or three people left, something like that.
3 players. 3 left.
3. So let's find out who our next one is.
All right, we'll go with Taylor's coworker, Natalie, with an H.
Nathalie. I had them in my notes as Nathalie, and then it kept messing me up.
I liked Natalie.
They have been to 15 countries in 24 states.
Wow.
Check my notes.
I liked Natalie. You know what? I'll do 5 for Natalie.
I might let you have her as a steal. I'm not sure how I feel. She said she wanted to find the big players and goat for them, so that might work well with Taylor on your draft. I think I'm gonna let you have Natalie for 5.
I think her and Taylor are going to work closely as well. So I think if Taylor's going far, I think Natalie might go far as well. So I think this might be a good buy for my average placement here.
All
right.
Looks like
there are 2 people left.
Yeah.
Let's go with Tyler first.
Tyler.
Wait, who we got? Like we got Tyler and who else?
Annika.
Okay.
Let me check my notes. I'll bid 5.
All right.
I mean, I think you get the last 2, right? Like automatically.
So I'm at 2 and Matt at. So I'm guaranteed to get either Tyler or Annika.
Yeah.
And
both.
then it's just like if Matt outbids me on Tyler, then I'm guaranteed to get Annika.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll do 10.
I'll do 15.
I will do. You can have him.
All right, I'm gonna take him for 15. This was my steal of the draft. I almost min clicked and just said like 85 or however much I have. I have to double check. So I'm very happy.
Good synergy that you get the other kind of college LRG host. I think he belongs on your team.
I get bonus points for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Devin, how about you introduce us to our last contestant?
Yeah, lastly we got Annika. She does know Amaris. I'll add that in, which I didn't know about as well. No one told me. But yeah, she very bubbly personality. Yeah, fun fact too, she won the Survivor card game with her friend group. Yeah, she's definitely a huge fan of the show and very social. I mean, everybody is pretty social, I'll say, honestly, in this whole game, but she definitely stood out as being a pretty big social butterfly, I thought.
I mean, I'll go all in for her, so I guess it's on Gible whether you think.
You missed. I was going to make a great joke. I was going to say I'm going 15 and then see if you outbid me.
So whether you think that she will improve your average placement or will bring it down, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to put my chips in on Annika, and I think she's going to improve it. So I'm going to bid. How much do you have? 55? I'll bid 60. I end the game with $10.
That's a good call. I wanted her, so good job.
Yeah.
All right. There it is.
Annika becomes the last member of my draft. And just like that, we have finished this portion. Ooh. There's one thing we have left to do. Let me just pull this ready. Oh, share screen. All right. So this is the draft so far. On Matt's team, he has Rebecca. Did I do this? Yeah. Rebecca, Maddie, and Taylor. On Logan's team, there is Morris, Ben, John V, Zach, and Atticus. And then I have Will, Kira, Tyler, and Annika for me. We are playing for average.
Gible, I have Natalie as well.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yep.
There you go. Forgot to add that in. I was wondering because I felt like the numbers were off. But I think there's one bonus, and we'll sort of figure out how this works because I actually haven't done this in this. But we would like to give out some bonus points. Now, bonus points are for the prediction that you can make. So in games I've done before, for the Survivor 46 draft, one of them, it was like, I think that Franny is going to get into a showmance. And the thing is, the bolder the prediction is, the more points you get. So if you say something like, I think Joshua is going to get voted out in the pre-merge, you might get 1 point if that happens. But if you say something crazy out of the line, I think Maddie's going to win 3 individual immunities. That might get you 3 points right there because that's a tough one to do. And we'll sort of vibe space it out. But it's a fun little way to add on to your, draft. So does anyone have a prediction they want to make off the bat, or should I lead us off?
I have one.
Matt, tell me about it.
I think someone is going to clock Ben's lie about his occupation.
Okay. I don't know the exact scaling. I think that's worth a solid 2 points. Devin, you're sort of the expert here. I know without spoiling, do you think that's a good prediction?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, I do think it's a good prediction. I'm just, for the point value, I think, yeah, you guys should all do the same like amount for whichever your bonus is, I guess.
Okay. We can all try and make 2 point lies then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of messes because mine
Unless
was
you wanna go
mine was
bigger than
also Ben related.
Really?
Now we got to go back to the drawing boards. My original one, and I don't want to steal anymore. My original one was, and let me make sure I get the names right. Was Ben the teacher, right? Yeah. Mine was that
Supposedly, yeah.
John V and Ben have a rivalry, but I don't know if that sort of lines up with what's going on.
I could see
Let me
that.
think. I might keep that one. Logan, don't steal that from me, but I'm gonna go through my notes a little bit more.
Could you scroll up to the names? Because
Oh,
I have a
yes.
prediction, but I just forget their names. All right. I like going all in. I'm gonna go all in on this. Mine's a little intricate. I think Will and Maddie are going to be allies for the first couple rounds. And then Will is going to blindside Maddie. And their friendship / partnership is over.
Well, we got a whole story arc going.
Yeah. That's better. That's better.
There we go. So the way I wrote it out was that Will and Maddie will have an allies to enemies arc throughout the season. We'll be a little lenient here. We'll try and figure it out. But I think that's a solid prediction. They both seem to be pretty big personalities in here. Both willing to be loud in the confessional, and sort of seems like that'll blend into the game. I think that's definitely a solid prediction. I think you have a good chance of getting that one done. For me, I have to think. All right, let me brew a little bit because I want to try and find someone who wasn't in it. Okay, so we know that Tyler and Zach are the two. All right. So we talked a lot about Zach. Zach was the sort of younger one, the 20-year-old. He had played a lot of orgs before. My prediction is going to be along the lines. I hope this doesn't come off as too mean because he seems like a very fun guy. But I think we're just going to go with it in that I think Zach is going to have a what's it called? A Zane Knight style, elimination where he sort of causes his own downfall and has a lot of chaos revolving around him in the round that he goes home. I hope that's not too broad, but I'm trying to, I could totally see that for him being his own downfall in that round. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yep.
The most fun part about doing all this is that we get to come up with all this, and then the players, they get to be like, you were way off, and I was way better than you thought I was going to be.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that all of our predictions are wrong or extremely accurate. But
it's
all
cool
in
seeing
good
who's
fun.
on each team already for your guys' draft.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure, Devin, you've
I
crunched the
expect it
numbers.
to
You already know
myself.
who wins, right?
I'd have to crunch the numbers to be certain, but I think I might have an idea.
All right. Other than that, this is our final draft. I'll sort of screenshot this and send it so that you can all enjoy on your own. And maybe you can post that on the Instagram. It'll be a cute little post. But that is it for our draft and cast assessment. Devin, is there anything big we missed about your... Oh, I've lost Milligan. Is there anything big we missed about your game? Anything that the viewers should know? Do you have any upcoming seasons? Anything that New Blood has to offer?
Yeah, well, I'll say too, like this season was supposed to have 14 players and someone dropped out the day of. I didn't have an alternate, so that's why we had to rock with 13. So that was unfortunate. I had tribes predetermined and everything too, so it changed stuff a little bit last second. But yeah, so our first episode is going to be premiering this Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time, so 7 Eastern. It's going to be a longer first episode, be a little over an hour. So Tune in for that on our YouTube Idol Identifiers. Usually I do 2 episodes a week. We'll see if I can do that or not, because I'm the only one editing it. So it'll probably be twice a week, probably for like a month, probably eight or nine episodes. And then my 8th season, I'm thinking of probably going back to the well here with make an application through LRG casting to get new players to my game. I don't care if they've played in other LRGs, but I definitely am going to be a little more picky, and they're going to need to tell me about some more pre-existing relationships this time. I mean, the reason it didn't really bug me too much was because like a lot of my other seasons, it's like there's usually a boyfriend, girlfriend, there's usually friends, just because we've always done friends of friends. But there's so many I'm like, I didn't even know that. So it's a really fun season. I was really excited to have a bunch of like fans of the real show come to play. It's cool that there's some people that have never done this before either still. It's a really good cast. We have a group chat made and stuff already like afterwards. So, you know, they all get along for the most part, but there might be a few things where maybe they aren't. So I'll say that. But yeah, it was a really fun day, long day. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. And I guess I'll say, I think we should close off maybe with each winner pick. I know some of you have mentioned it already, but I'm kind of curious what the thoughts are for the winner.
Yeah. Maybe next season we'll do a little bit of a draft of who we think is going to blow up the group chat, but might be a different stream for a different time. My winner pick for certain would be Tyler. I get a lot of good vibes from Tyler. He says he knows how to play the game, and he says he has played it before, and he's happy that no one knows him. So it gives him a lot of freedom, gives him the choice of what he wants to do. Logan, how about you tell us about who your winner pick is and why, and then tell us about any projects you got coming up that you want to promote.
Awesome. So firstly, thank you for having me. This was fun. Awesome. Maris, right? Their name's Maris, right? Am I saying that right? Okay. Maris is my winner pick.
She goes by Maris more than Amaris, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they're my winner pick because like I said, as soon as I said they gave off Danny Boatwright vibes, throughout every other person who was like talking during their introduction, I still just kept going back. Yep, still my winner pick. Yep, still my winner pick. And at the end of the day, I think she has what it takes to bring it all the way home.
Awesome stuff, Logan. Thanks for joining us. Matt, tell us who your winner pick is, why, and anything you might be on pretty soon.
Yeah, so Rebecca is my winner pick. I think she's just going to come in and be super social, but not in a way that is going to elevate her threat level. I think she's going to build bonds really quickly. And I can just see her giving kind of a compelling final tribal council speech. So, yeah, she's the one for me. As far as what I have going on, I am currently in the 3rd season of Outlast. It has been airing. Usually Justin drops about 3 episodes at the end of every month. We just got through the pre-merge phase of the game, and it's been a really exciting season and a lot more to come. So check that out. And then I also got the great pleasure of playing Gible's first game that he ever hosted, Survivor at IU Season 1. And after quite a while, the finale is finally dropping this Sunday at 8 Eastern. So you can actually hit up Survivor Wisconsin and then eat your dessert with Survivor at IU afterwards. You might see a familiar face in the finale. Yeah, excited to see what happens. Yeah. Thanks for letting me do this, and good luck in the past to all these players. I'm really excited to see how the season plays out.
Yeah. Devin, is there anything we left out? Any final thoughts you got? And can you tell us who your preseason winner pick is without spoiling? Did you have one?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you having me on. It was awesome to kind of get my name out there a little bit more for what we do, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed the draft. I think we got a lot of entertaining players this season. My preseason winner pick was Amaris as well, actually. So I'm with you, Team Logan. We'll see if that comes true or not. But yeah, I really liked what she brought, you know, in the pre-interview stage, and kind of I met her once in person too at like a Survivor event too in Milwaukee. So yeah, and you know, she got second that one time, so maybe she can get first this time and get revenge on Atticus.
All right. I have been Gible, Sam, Eddie, many names I have adorned, but I would like to thank you all for listening to the podcast. If you enjoyed my stuff, as Matt said, check out Survivor at IU. You can find us on YouTube, or you can check out our Instagram, LRG Indiana. Do not go to any other website. It is LRG Indiana. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, this has been the Survivor Wisconsin Season 7 Kickoff Cast and Draft Assessment. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on our next stream.